Hey guys, this is Heather Bullock, and your leader asked me to do a live on your page about how I do my Scent of the Month mail outs. And I want to share with you guys something that I taught at Roll Tour as well, and so you may have seen it and wanted to know how to do it, or you missed it, so this is going to help you to learn how to do that. It's kind of tricky right now because it's hard to show the camera and do a demonstration like what I'm about to do, but hopefully this gives you some ideas, a little bit of motivation to go and work your business. So, the first thing that I want to tell you was I do the flyers in two different ways, and so they're either going to be envelopes or they're going to be folders. Depending on what I plan to do with it is going to determine what I have. I usually do split it in between though with the folders and the envelopes. So the first one I'm going to show you guys how to do, hey Nicole, is going to be the envelope portion. So you have your Scent of the Month flyer, and you can even use last month, it doesn't matter. I mean, let's be real, that warmer is now not on sale anymore. Or I guess it is because we're in February, but typically it'd be full price, so why would you not promote that still? But depending on whichever side for the envelope that you want to use, you're going to start on the opposite side. So for me, I really like this side, and so I'm going to start on this side. And notice that the crease in the middle, that's going to be your major marker while you're doing this. I feel like Scentsy did it on purpose because it's so awesome. Also note that you should always have labels. For the envelope, you don't want to put your label here because it's going to get hidden otherwise. But I'll show you where I put it. So the first thing you're going to do is take your first corner, and on that crease you're going to fold it up to that corner so that it lines up perfectly. And then you're going to repeat that same motion with the other side of the flyer. Kind of like the start of an airplane that you probably used to make in elementary school. It's going to be that same type of shape that you're going to start with. So it's going to look like this. And then the next step is taking your two sides and folding them over, and they're going to match that middle middle line as well. And so you just take it, line it up, and then you're going to repeat the same motion with the other side. It's really not that hard. It just takes a little bit of practice to get used to lining up and doing the different motions that you do. Okay, and so now your product should look like this. And notice we're not taping anything, and that's going to make it so that they can actually unravel the flyer and see what the warmer of the month is, so you're not wasting your money because they're what is this, because you can't see the warmer. So that's also why I like doing it this way. And then you're going to take your end portion, or your bottom part, and you're just going to make, don't push it all the way down, just give yourself a tiny little crease right there, and that's going to help you do the next part, because what we're actually going to do is take this bottom part, and these two flaps, we're going to tuck it into there. And I can't do it backwards, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. But literally, putting them in those little two slots, and then you're going to push it down, and every part of you is going to want to shove the whole thing in there. But it doesn't really matter, as long as it's in there, and then you're going to flatten it out. And just make sure it looks kind of decent on the inside. Like I said, they're not going to look that pretty the first time you do it, or they might. You might be awesome at crafts. And so now it's like this, and so you're literally just going to push that part down, or flatten out. See, I even went too far. You literally just flatten it out, and then now you have this. And then you take your top, and you just fold that over, and now it has become an envelope. And inside of it, it actually will have a pocket, and so that's where you're going to stick your samples. So for me, I don't always have the time to make all the samples. Actually, I never do. Hold on, I gotta grab something. And so I just like to keep a cutting board and the crinkle cutter in my office. And these are already pre-cut, so that's good. And so you can use your crinkle cutter and literally just make these into little whatevers. And it's good though because it still kind of looks cute, but you did it in no time, and you're not melting it down. And we all know when we melt down the wax, that takes away the scent. Maybe not a lot of it, but it takes away some of it. And we want them to get the full experience. Okay, so there's stupid bags that you can get from Walmart. They're in the jewelry section. There's the big ones and the smaller ones. So these are really good for like felt samples, so you're not like wasting a bag. And really for this case, because these are so skinny, I could probably get away with it. But my label's kind of big, so I like to stick it on this one. So I literally just drop those bad boys in there. And it's like 100 for only $1. Like, it's a good deal. I'm sure you guys already know about that, but just in case someone joined today and they didn't know. And then, like I said earlier, you want to label everything. So I am very, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right that moment, or I'll procrastinate it forever. So if I order labels off of Vistaprint and they don't come in right away, by the time it gets there, it's going to sit in my office. So I like to use Avery personally. So these are my labels. These have a feather on them, and then the Scentsy logo, which you can get off of Google. Just type in translucent logo, and that way when you put it on your labels, it's not like having all this white stuff in the back. It's just my name, title, number, and website. And so you're going to want to label that, because let's be real, this and your samples could end up in 2 different locations. Like, say you hand it to a mom and she's just going to throw it in her car somewhere, and her friend's going to find it and jack the sample and leave the flyer. She needs to be able to contact you, and now her friend can too. And so I just stick that in there. Boom, and you can see it's still pretty flat, which is good for mailing wise. And the next part is, if you run out of the scent of the month stickers, but you have some left over from the month before, like I'm currently having to do, it's not the end. I'm so short. It's not the end of the world, because like I said earlier, these are full price now, except when we're in February, but they're full price. So why would you not still continue to promote that while they're available? And so I'm using the Vanilla Mint sticker to close that. And when you do your follow-up, because when you give someone a sample, you should follow up with them, you're going to explain the scent in there and tell them the name of it, because you know you sent them the sample of the month, or make yourself a note. And then also that the scent that is on the outside is the scent of the month from last month that will only be available for a limited amount of time. And if they want to buy that one, they can as well, and it smells great. Now the next part that everyone was really eating up was these little bad boys. You can get these off of Amazon. They're called cellophane syllables. Cellophane syllables. I'll put the link in the comments. But they're good because they're see-through, so you can see it. This one isn't finished. I tried to do a live the other night, and I was like all over the place. I was like, just kidding. But so you just stick your finished product in there with your sample of the month. And then another thing that I like to add is when Scentsy gives us the extra like hand lotions and stuff in our scent of the month kit, it's like sticking to the thing, is to go and stick that in there as well. And I'll give you an example of what I was telling people at World Tour, and then what I actually do in real life, because I try not to say do this and then not do it myself. So the next part is that, so they give us these like free hand lotions, and so I'll stick that in there as well on the outside so they can see it. And then also the little cards that they gave us for the hand lotion, they gave us all the different like body lines, and it just says, give your hands a life of luxury with vitamin-packed protection and pampering in a travel-friendly package. Non-greasy formula protects against and alleviates chapping, cracking, and roughness. And paraben and gluten-free. Like, that's a big thing. And so you want to make sure that you're sticking your label on that as well, because like I said, you don't know what's going to end up where. And so this might be too big. I have smaller ones. They're in my binder though, so we're just gonna make do. I know all my OCD peeps. Don't worry, I won't actually mail this one. So you're gonna stick that with this, because if you're meeting someone for the first time, like say you don't know them and you're gonna be handing them this, they need to know that you're legit. And I'm gonna tell you how to word it here in a second. And so you're gonna stick that with it. Look, the feather color matches the sample color. I didn't even notice that before. Yay! All right, so you're gonna stick that in there. Oh wait, I forgot. I also stick my label on this corner for the envelope mess, so that my sticker is on there and it kind of looks like an actual letter. So then you stick that in there. I just realized my music's playing in the background. Hopefully I don't get in Facebook jail. Live jail. That happens all the time. Okay. So we have our sample. We have our lotion sample. We have our card. And then the next big thing that I really like to do that makes it even more exciting to receive, because people, they just eat it up, is taking glitter. And so these you can get at Walmart. They are beach theme. I live at the beach, so it kind of just goes with the flow. But I like using big chunky glitter, not because I'm like, oh, I love my customers, I don't want them to get glitter bombed. It's because I love myself and I don't want to have to clean up the mess that I know I'm going to make with this. So if it's big, it's easier to pick up and find. And so I just throw some of that in there. And it looks a little bit more cuter. And then you close it on up. And the next thing that I use is the Avery shipping labels. And I have a document saved to my files on there. And I'll just like put the Scentsy logo, and it has like the good like shabby chic wood look to it. And then my address and stuff is up here so I can mail it. And then VIP customer and then their name. And at the bottom has my website, so that if the postal lady or whoever gets this, they can still see my information on there in case you're like, I don't know what this chick's about. It hasn't happened yet, but I just started doing this like the past 6 months. Anyway, so when you mail this, say you don't have the cellophane cute bags. Like, do not allow that to stop you from doing your samples. There are other types of mailers that you can do. Rather that's getting these from Walmart. They're like highlighter color. This is fun to get. These are ones I've had forever from Scentsy, and these are just the normal, like mailer, whatever they're called, aluminum. I don't freaking know. Anyway, you just decorate it with like stickers or glitter or whatever you want to do. As long as it's like a white envelope. Like the number one thing that people love when they get scent mail is the fact that it's not white and looking like a bill. Like it's something fun coming in the mail. But you can, I mail these by itself. So this one I cracked open for you guys because I ran out of bags. But I mail these myself. But my mailman tried to tell me it was too small, but he kind of just does it anyway. So whatever. Oh my God, Praying is on. I love that song. Hopefully I don't go to Facebook jail. Anyway, you are so welcome. Okay, so you can mail these, or you can put it in a bag if you're not comfortable with being see-through, or if your mailman's not cool and doesn't let you send the size, or just get a bigger size. These cellophane bags come in all different sizes. So conversation starters is the next part that I really want to talk to you guys about because it's a big deal. So you don't have to mail it everything. There are going to be times where you're going to run into people and you want to give them something. So one of the things that I talked about at World Tour was how to start conversations, which is a perfect topic because I love to talk. Even though I still get nervous, especially when someone asks me what I do. What do you say? Well, I do Scentsy. Well, what is that? Well, it's wax and it's warmers and it's laundry detergent, and we also have oils and body care products, and we have stuff for the kids and body washes and hand creams for you, and it's a lot for you to even say, and so you are like, I don't know what to answer this question with. And so what I just like to do now is say, I own a fragrance company that I run out of my house, and I would love to give you a sample. And if you love it, awesome, we can order you more. And I need to contact you in order to see how much you love it. But that's just an example. What you're really going to say is like this. So I walked into the bank, and I need to get a new debit card because my husband went to Vegas, and I lost my debit card. So I was like, I ain't got no money. Well, except on my Scentsy card, but it was all being like transferred over anyway. But, so I walked into the bank with my son, and the lady that I walked into was literally rubbing her hands with lotion, like the Aveeno. And so instantly I remembered that this was in my purse with my hand lotion in it. And it was actually from World Tour when I was showing everybody. It just was chilling in my purse. And at the end of it, like, she was really cool with my son. She was like giving him snacks. Like, she was a cool person. And so at the end of it, we shook hands, and I was like, oh, and by the way, I noticed when I walked in that you were using the Aveeno hand lotion. She was like, oh my gosh, yes, girl, I have to wash my hands all day long, and so my hands get so dry from doing that, but the flu is so bad that I don't want to catch what people got. And I was like, I get it, I understand. I actually own my own personal fragrance company that I run out of my house, and one of the products that I offer is actually lotion, and it's enriched with vitamins that are actually really good for your skin and will help so they stop cracking and really like rehydrate your hands. It's in my purse. This is it right now, or this is it right here, and I hand it to her, and I said, and there's also a little card in there that's going to explain to you like what's in the lotion sample, and there's also a cute little folder, and she already had mentioned how cute the package was. And there's a cute little folder, and inside of there is another product that we offer, which is wax and warmers to make your home smell amazing. And there's a little sample in there of our sample of the month. It's currently on sale. And so here you go. And she took it. She was like so excited. And I was like, and can I go ahead and get your phone number so that I can follow up with you and make sure you love the scent that I gave you? Because even if you love how the lotion feels, but you're like, I'm not digging the scent, we offer tons of different scents that you would love. And she was like, sure, and she just handed me her business card. I was like, all right, cool, so I'll be following up with you in about 2 days, see how much you love that. She's like, all right, thank you, have a great day. And I was like, bye. It was that simple. There wasn't no overthought process where I'm not as confident as I should be, and so now I sound like a sketch weird person trying to sell drugs or something. No, we own an awesome company, and we sell awesome products, and so we need to get them out into the world. And so if you're more confident with what you're handing, you're more likely to do it. So whatever you decide to do, just make sure that it makes you feel proud to give it to someone, because you're more likely to actually do it. And if you mail these out to people, make sure that when they get in the mail, you're following up with them and seeing if they liked that scent of the month. What I've been doing is, I got it over here, I've been keeping like a note card index thing, and on our anchored in page is for like star consultants and above, and like if you hit director, you just stay on that page too. But there was this file in there. I still don't know who did it, but I'm sure someone can upload it to this page. But I just used what she put as a file on there, and it's called a customer info sheet that I think she made. It might have been the workstation. I don't have a clue. But it has their name, address, phone number, which I forgot to put hers on there. It's on my Facebook messages. The date of their last order, or their first order, actually. Whose party was, like who was the hostess, and then their card information, and then whatever notes you want to keep about that person. Because when you're following up with people, it's easier to be like, hey girl, so I know you told me your husband smokes in the car, and so you got that Scentsy Fresh. Did it work? Did you love it? So on and so forth. Did you want to try a new scent? They're also trying for a baby. They're having a hard time getting pregnant. And so I'm going to check on that and make sure that's good, because she kind of poured her heart out to me on the phone when I called her to get her card information. So I'm going to check back in with her before I start an actual like business conversation. And then inside of, like I fold it up. So if you get the document, it's like in 2 pages, but I just print it so it's side by side so that it looks like this when it comes out of the printer. And then I just cut it, and then I folded it into 4s. And then every time that she places an order, I put it on a note card, and I just slide that in there. And so I have not done my follow-ups yet. That will be today. So I need to follow up with all these people, because all these people either got bring back my bars or some type of sample in January, and my PRB was bomb because they all ordered. But now it's time to follow up and book parties. If they've already had a party, it's time for them to join my team, because it's only $50 to join this month. And so that way, these people are going to get samples for 3 months. In that 3-month span, if they haven't placed an order, then I stop sending them samples. Kind of like if you place a $200 order in Scentsy, in 3 months, you stay an active consultant. If after that 3-month span they haven't placed an order, I just simply take them off my list, but say they place an order in the future, I put them back on the list and we'd restart the process. And they place an order. Typically, most people will order. I haven't had one person not order, and what does these cost us? Like maybe $85 to get the warm of the month package? Well, that's a lot of people that I just sent that to. Can you imagine if each one of these person got a 3-pack of bars, maybe? You just doubled what you would have in profit-wise. And it helps me to keep up with my customers, to not forget about people who do PWS orders or that I met at an event. And I really just like it. It's really working for me because a binder doesn't work, and this is all up in my face in blue. And I will carry this in my car with me and sit in the pickup line to get my kid and be scrolling through. And the different tabs are labeled for the different months. And so after I follow up with Katie, I'll move her into February because I followed up with her. And after I follow up with Terry, I'll move her into February. And in February or come March, I'll follow up with my February people. That way, I'm always like moving forward or whatever. But it's buy, host, join. So if they ended up buying a warmer, now they need to host a party. If they've hosted multiple parties, now it's time to have that conversation of joining your team. And that's a whole nother can of worms. But I hope that today you leave more confident and that you seize the day and you find some new customers and that you have a fantastic rest of your day. Please post any questions that I may not have hit and stay warm out there, guys. Bye.